And we're live. Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and today I'm here with Sidereal and Babylonian astrologer Krasi Attasio, and she will be leading us through the months of May 2022, first saying how it's going to influence us all collectively and the world, and then for each of the 12 signs, she would mention the tropical, the sidereal signs, and yeah, Krasi, and by the way, Krasi is doing a special reading for the eclipses for the whole 2022 till the end of April. It's $130 only, down from 190. So it should focus on how the eclipses will affect you this year till the end of the year. So Krasi, what can we expect? What is sidereal astrology telling us about the future?
Yeah, indeed.
And
Hi, Wada. Hi, everyone. Yes, May will be very interestingly, partially because of the eclipses. They happen on the axis of Gemini, Aries, because also
Libra.
end of March.
Libra.
Sorry,
Libra.
Sidereal. Libra, Aries, Libra. Sidereal axis of Aries, Libra. Rahu, the head of the dragon, entered on the 23rd of March, I think. Aries and Ketu entered the tail of the dragon, south node, north node. They entered this axis, and this is, of course, the reason behind the eclipses. The eclipses will happen now on the 30th of April. And you know, everyone knows they go in couples, and almost immediately after that, on the 15th of May, we have the second eclipse also happening there. But the first eclipse is very interesting because, of course, 30th of May, eclipse, and after that we will have the appearance of the first new moon in May. But certainly these eclipses are very, very important. First of all, because they change the whole picture of the eclipses, because last 2 years we had eclipses on the axis of Taurus, Scorpio, the most powerful axis of money and power, which we see already how this is unfolding with very important financial events, changes, probably changes in the financial system of the world globally. But now the picture shifts immensely with Aries, Libra eclipses. I think we spoke a lot about these eclipses in the previous video. No, we spoke about Rahu Ketu, but it has to do with the same, because you see Rahu, the head of the dragon, who shows what we want to achieve, what we want to see manifested in Aries. So when you think of Aries, you immediately think of some aggression, war, but not only, it can be drive. Mm-hmm. So you see the shift from very much money, financial changes shift to Aries types of activities for the world. The first eclipse now in April, which has impact on May, of course, is happening in a very interesting position. I think it was the 19 degrees sidereal Aries, when the exact conjunction between the moon and the sun happens. And this is where you have on the sky Andromeda. But this is not the nebula Andromeda. This is it's a constellation, and people who are interested in the Greek mythology know the stories about betrayal, how Andromeda was tied on the sky. So I think this is a gate for certain betrayal, which we'll be witnessing globally. Betrayal is the word. How this will be seen in the horoscopes of people depends very much on the horoscopes. And then I just want to see, so also you see very interestingly this particular eclipse in Andromeda, when you see this conjunction between Jupiter, between the moon and the sun. Actually, we don't have very much help of benevolent planets, because one of the important points which the ancients make is that when benevolent planet is watching during eclipse, the evil is destroyed. But I don't see any friendly aspect of benevolent planets. Saturn, actually, and Mars and Pluto are the only planets who make aspect to this eclipse. This is not meant to scare none of us. It is not about being afraid, but it is something that has to happen. It will be certainly very important. It's a portal for knowledge. It may change, of course, the you know, the pictures of the hostilities in the world. You know also what I mean. The other thing is that, yes, Jupiter is not watching, so we say by aspect towards the eclipse, but we cannot forget this amazing event now on 18th of April. For 1 year, Jupiter enters the place which he's ruling, Pisces. Immediately more hope and better energies to the world, because we've been missing Jupiter for quite some time. First 1 year he was in Capricorn, 1 year then he was in Aquarius, not as powerful as he would be after he enters on 18th of April. Pisces, so help we will have, but this eclipse will be very ominous, and we will see what it will bring to the world. But the key word to me is betrayal, because it happens.
Is this the April 30th eclipse you're talking about?
Yes, and then the second I will tell you about in a second. The second
because of Andromeda, you say.
Yeah, exactly. Conjunct the sitting, the tide. You know, we have on the sky the tide Andromeda from the Greek mythology. There was this betrayal when they tied her, and she was sitting there unhappy. This is not joyful figure, you know, because she was tied. She's tied on the sky. Let me see. The second eclipse, as usual, you know, happens in on the 15th of May, and it happens on the same axis, you know that. Now, here, very interestingly, the eclipse is in the 30 degrees of Aries, and Saturn makes exact square. So Uranus is also in Aries in the very same time. So the sun will be in the 30 degrees of Aries, the moon will be in the 30 degrees of Libra, and the exact aspect which we see immediately is from Saturn. So this may endanger certain ruling powers, you know, in the world. And again, I see no benevolent planet watching. So it will happen, and most probably this will be some matter of justice that we will see. But the thing is that it will happen, like it may not be really very much softened by any benevolent influences, because no Jupiter, no Venus are watching towards the really the degree of the eclipse. They are a little bit far. However, we will see continued hostilities, and then some certain dose of justice, and most probably also betrayal. But for sure, the eclipses will enhance this more, I think. It is not the end. And we know it is not the end, because as the same way as Mars, the first appearance of Mars back in 2020 brought the health issue for the world, the same way the first appearance of Mars in Scorpio for the next 15 months from December 2021 brought the issue of hostility. So we have to wait until this, these important energies, yeah, exactly. But how this will be seen in the personal horoscopes, of course, it has to be seen which other planets in the horoscopes make aspects, on where it is happening, on people's ascendants, descendants, moons, sun. So this all matters enormously. So we will be seeing that. But what is really amazing, and it will take 1 year of blessing, it is Jupiter in Pisces. This is really a relief, finally, Jupiter in Pisces. And of course, you spoke yourself about Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, also very beautiful, very helpful, I believe. So we have so many other, you know, softening energies around these not very benevolent events, which happen every year. So there is no place for panic. Yes, in 2020 we had 6. This was scary, right?
Eclipses, yeah.
You know, only by knowing how many eclipses you have this year, 6, you know it will be difficult. Only this is enough.
Yeah.
Yes. So saying this, Wada, maybe we can start looking at the
12 signs.
12 signs. I'm starting. Okay, so we're starting right with the 12 ascendants. Just to explain that, as usual, we're looking from sidereal perspective, but also tropical, meaning I'm mentioning the sidereal ascendant, but also the tropical. And if you do not know your time of birth, if you don't know your ascendant, then you can use the placement of the moon. So when we are starting from a sidereal ascendant Aries, this can be applied to the moon if you have moon in Aries, but this will be tropical Taurus if you prefer to use the tropical system of astrology, the tropical modern astrological system. So what is happening for people who have Aries ascendant for the month of May? Indeed, we need to take into consideration that the eclipse is happening right on your ascendant. Don't be afraid at all that eclipse is happening on ascendant Aries, or if you have moon in Aries or tropical Taurus. Just first of all, do not watch it. The ancients wouldn't do that. Well, the astrologers would do, because they were supposed to see what omen the eclipse will bring. But it is really not appropriate to sit and watch the eclipse. This is one thing. Secondly, when you know the date of the eclipse, 30th of April, then the second one, 15th of April, don't do very important initiatives around these timings. Wait until end of May, and then see after the new moon to appear, so that you start and have new important initiatives. This is because the eclipse is temporary, can lock our luck, but this is all for certain, has certain purpose. But because you may be temporarily slowed down, you may feel that your your luck is temporarily locked, but after that, especially after the appearance of the next new moon, which will be after end of May, you will already have totally new maybe vision on this reality, totally different plans. This is why I suggest you to be very intuitive, not afraid at all, because if you're very powerful, fearless, none of this will impact you, and wait to see how what these energies will bring you as opportunity. Saying this for you, eclipse on your ascendant, Uranus on your ascendant, and you still, of course, have Saturn on the 10th house. This can trigger your plans, changes, what your expectations, your aims. But of course, this can further the changes which are taking place in your career place. In addition, Mercury is very active in a specific phase on your second house. This can certainly have not bad impact on your finances, but temporary, important financial decisions. All this you may feel like it is a bit locked, not really happening, but this is so temporary. So just be a bit patient after these energies pass. For you also, Mars is on your 11th house, will make you driven to, Mars on your 11th house. He is about, gains, social circle, friends, hopes, even communication with children. There you may be very, intuitive, patient, because this placement of Mars can bring certain disharmonies. On the other hand, for 1 year, Jupiter will be in your 12th house with Venus to help you win over, hidden enemies, let's say, to help you, to give you very good, let's say, help and healing opportunities. So month of May should be a bit quiet for you, like waiting and see where these new energies will lead you. Now let's see people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Gemini. Now for you, the very, interestingly, Mercury is very, in a very powerful, very intellectual, if you want, phase on your ascendant. This will be valid until, this will have impact, of course, until mid-May at least. this is quite good, can give you motivation to research, to study. On the other hand, Mars and the placements of Mars and Saturn can bring certain dose of disharmony in your career place. Maybe you should be also a bit patient, intuitive, loving with your partner to a degree. Jupiter is very beautiful for you because now on the 18th of April, he enters and he will stay for 1 year in Pisces, which is your 11th house. Beautiful for your finances, opportunities, communication with children. So this is a very good placement of Jupiter, 1 year of great blessing, especially related to finances, plans, connections. So in this sense, this will be very good. And month of May will be financially fine. Just be a bit patient with your partner, also in your career place, because Mars can bring these harmonies. Then we're looking at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Gemini, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Cancer. Now for you, Mercury around mid-May enters your ascendant. This is quite fine. Until the half of May, he will be on your 12th house to make you a bit more choosing for a solitude, let's say, or certain spiritual activities to make you desiring for self-isolation or being very empathic, visiting temples, like that. But when from the second half of May, Mercury on your ascendant will be very, very good because he is at home in Gemini, obviously, and he can give you very good motivation for mental work, for media work. He can make you plan and desire to achieve your plans, like that. In the meantime, beautifully for you, Jupiter from 18th of April stays 1 year in Sidereal Pisces. Very good blessing, because this aspect your ascendant, blessing, beautiful. These aspects, this is blessing on your career, can bring peace. If you have unresolved issues related to your career, this will be very nice. The eclipse is happening in your 11th house, may influence you or not, depends which planets and luminaries you have in this place. But in any case, Uranus is there, and with Saturn from your 8th house, certainly this brings ongoing changes in your finances and plans, and even a social circle, if you want, communication with children. All this might be influenced with Uranus in the 11th house and Saturn in your 8th house. But anyhow, you're very well with Jupiter in your 10th house for 1 year ahead. And now we look at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Cancer or Moon in Cancer, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. Now, for you, the eclipse is taking place on your 10th house. Could be, if you have there your midheaven, lower meridian, it is very possible that this influences your career. Don't worry so much. Just around the timing of the eclipse, like I told you, they go in couples from 30th of April until 15th of May, but wait until the whole lunar cycle closes and the moon appears after end of May. Wait and see how this energy goes, because they can close something to give you another opportunity. So this is one thing. But the very good news for you is, again, this very same Jupiter enters on the 18th of April, Pisces, which happens to be your 9th house, and he will be there for 1 year. So from there, Jupiter will make trine to the ascendant. This is great protection, great blessing, saving you from trouble, giving you opportunity to manifest things which are related to career too, but also education, traveling, knowledge, protection. This is beautiful. So in this sense, even if the eclipses take place on this key position of yours, which could be or not your midheaven, lower meridian, but in any case, this is the 10th house and fourth house is in astrology. Jupiter will have his great blessing on you, so you should not be afraid of anything. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Virgo. Or moon in Virgo, of course. So if you have ascendant Leo, first of all, for you, the eclipse would take place on the axis of Aries, Libra, which happens to be your 9th, 3rd houses axis, which is not scary at all, because this axis in astrology has benevolent nature. Also, most probably this for you could be a portal for knowledge, for enlightenment, for spiritual activities. Could be nice. Until mid-April, be a bit, diplomatic and loving with your partner because of Mars in your 7th house. For you, Jupiter enters on the 18th of April. Pisces, this is your 8th house, where Jupiter will stay 1 year. This could be very good for the finances of your partner for 1 year ahead, or for finances which you may generate via partnership with somebody. So in this case, this is very benevolent, can be supportive for your health indeed also. So basically, month of May looks fine for you. Only you may need to watch out a little bit for your relationship, especially the first 2 weeks of May. But after that, I think that you will not have this disharmonious influence of Mars, which is valid right now. So basically, also Mercury is in a very active, very interesting phase in May on your midheaven. Can give you ideas, development, even financial interest, because he's in a phase of visibility in your career place. So the month look good for you. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Libra. Now for you, on your 7th house, Jupiter will stay 1 year in Pisces. Even in May, you will have Venus in Pisces. This is the best thing you can dream of, Jupiter and Venus, both benevolent planets. Jupiter on a throne in Pisces, Venus exalted. So this is very good if you want. If this may bring peace and love into your relationship, can bring opportunities related to partnerships, can be a very good blessing. You may watch a little bit in your routine environment for the people which share your routine, or people who work for you. There you may, and also you may need to be responsible for your health. Your ascendant ruler is in visible phase on your 9th house, which is also benevolent, can give you desires and opportunities related to knowledge, study, even travel. So in this sense, I think when we emphasize on Jupiter on your 7th house for the next 1 year, I think this is very good. Of course, we don't know exactly how the eclipses influence your horoscope if you have planets on the axis of Libra, Aries, but even if you do, Jupiter and Venus in the 7th house are quite good protection on you and for your relationships. It's a very good thing. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Scorpio. Now, this axis of Libra Aries is influenced by the presence of the nodes, the lunar nodes, for 1 year. Not 1 year, 18 months, excuse me. So we have Ketu, the tail of the dragon, on your ascendant, which makes you pretty selfless for you, the others, your relationship. This becomes a bit more important for the next 18 months. And yes, the eclipses are happening in Libra Aries. This is, I would tell you, very important, transformation or transformative for you, because always when eclipses take place on the ascendant, descendant of somebody, certainly we go through important changes. You will see how this year, even the next year, because the same axis of Aries Libra will be influenced by the eclipses also in the year of 2023. So you will notice how many things you will desire to change, how many new plans you have, how many things will push you towards such decisions. So this is why I mentioned this also in the beginning for the people who have ascendant Aries. The first eclipse happens on the 30th. The second now happens on the 15th of May, meaning around these dates, you may feel a bit down. You may feel that your luck is temporarily locked. Things are not going as fast as you desire. That's why be a little bit patient. Wait until the cycle of the moon closes and the new moon shows up, which will be end of May, because you want, these energies can be a bit too heavy. We don't know exactly in what way they will personally influence you. So wait until these energies close up, and then with the first appearance of the moon, continue doing your business, your whatever you're doing, because you have different perspective. Maybe your plans will change, maybe your desires, maybe many things may change and lead you to another direction. That's why wait a bit and be patient, because eclipses tend to open portals for change. And this is what will happen most probably. In any case, even, you know, you have still Saturn transiting on your 4th house, meaning anyway, you are going through change because of Uranus on your 7th house, Saturn in the 4th. So you are probably experiencing personal changes, career changes, changes related to your home, maybe rearranging your home, relocation. This may be enhanced and may take another direction. This is why I'm telling you, be a bit patient. So this is what is happening. But don't worry so much, because 1 year from 18th of May, April until April of 2023, Jupiter will be on your 6th house to support your health, to give you blessing on you know, on your routine, everyday environment. So in this sense, also the benevolent influences of Jupiter is very, very helpful and very, very important. So just be patient and don't do any new important initiatives around these timings. Now we're looking at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Scorpio or Moon in Scorpio, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Sagittarius. Now for you, your ascendant ruler is in, as you know, as we speak, in Aquarius, your 4th house, and after the second part of May will move into your 5th house. While Mars is on your 4th house, well, this is a bit disharmonious placement. Mars, you know, in Aquarius, because he doesn't have any specific powerful position there, he's peregrine. So you may feel a bit not exactly very, maybe very focused also. Maybe you may watch a bit for disharmonies which he may cause in your home, also career-wise. Be a bit patient when you communicate with parents, also at home, in your relationship. After half of May, Mars moves into Pisces. He can make you more driven to creative knowledge, to creative studies, to do work which requires talents. He can make you driven to make lucky incomes, like from lucky sources. So this is not so bad. Can make you very, you know, even very spiritual, very not really very ambitious or very driven, but the focus will be towards creative knowledge, spirituality, like that, which is not bad. But during the first half of May, be a bit more patient with your partner. Now the good thing for you, also very good, is that Jupiter 18th of April enters Pisces to stay there 1 year. This is your 5th house. And Jupiter is very strong in Pisces, of course, because he rules Pisces. From there, he aspects the ascendant, aspects your relationships, the 7th house, gives good influence on your children, again, the 5th house, on creative knowledge, on creative activities, talented work. So Jupiter can be very, very, very lucky in your 5th house for 1 year. So even if the eclipses influence some of your planets in the horoscope, because it depends on every horoscope where luminaries are and so on, still this very benevolent placement of Jupiter for 1 year is very good. And moreover, you're free from the impact of the eclipses 2 years happening on the axis of Scorpio Taurus. So should be great relief for you. So let's see, in general, this is fine for the finances in May, a quite lucky placement. And so this was for people who have ascendant, say, Scorpio. Now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant, Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Capricorn. Now for you, Jupiter, who rules your ascendant, finally will be within his full potentials, will have his full powers, because he will be 1 year from 18th of April to April of 2023 on your full 4th house, Pisces. This is very good. Even in May, he will be with Venus. So you have Jupiter and Venus together on your 4th house in Pisces. Absolutely beautiful for you. Really beautiful. He will influence your career, your home, communication with parents. This is really very good. Can give you opportunities in matters which can involve real estate, for example, property. Very nice. The eclipses take place on your 5th, 11th houses. I don't know if this is mid-heaven, lower meridian, but could be. It is possible. In this case, this can be pretty influential, but you're pretty saved by the presence of Jupiter, who will be watching after you, being your ascendant ruler, you know, from your 4th house. So this is a good thing. In April, you in March, in May, excuse me, in May, you may a bit watch out with travel and communication with brothers and sisters. Then there you may have small disharmony, especially the first part, the first 2 weeks from month of May. But in general, you will be pretty lucky with Jupiter on your 4th house. Let's see now people who have sidereal ascendant Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aquarius. Now for you, your great change is not over yet. Less than an year still to go from the transit of Saturn in sidereal Capricorn. I'm sure that you already know how these energies look like, because you've been through this for the last 2 years. So we have Saturn still in May, fully in his powers, even in section of Capricorn ruled by Saturn. So Saturn, very powerful in Capricorn, continues his work. What is good, you see this as relief, as more positive energies, is also the same thing. Jupiter in Pisces for 1 year from 18th of April. From there, Jupiter aspects the ascendant, aspects the descendants with harmonious aspects. Also in May, you have Venus exalted on your 3rd house to help your spirituality, to help your knowledge, to help studies, to help sharing knowledge, to help travel, to help communication with brothers and sisters, to help communication, commerce. Beautiful. This will be very good for you the whole month of May. You will see relief, and so watch out a little bit for because Mars, especially the first 2 weeks of May, not to make impulsive financial decisions because of the position of Mars. But in any case, you will already be experiencing relief after this very heavy 2 years of aspect of Saturn on your ascendant. And now let's see people who have sidereal ascendant Aquarius or moon in Aquarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Pisces. Now for you, Saturn also for you remains already longer than 2 years. Your ascendant ruler, Saturn, is in Capricorn. So you know how this, you are an expert already on how Saturn on your 12th house works. Most probably he transformed you spiritually enormously. Maybe also he brought some health matters that you also managed to find solution for. But this continues. Now there is change, of course, because Jupiter was 1 year on your ascendant, and on 18th of April, he moves actually into Pisces, or your second house of money, where he will be staying 1 year. Also, in the month of May, Venus will be transiting on your second house. This is very benevolent, because benevolent for your finances, for your family roots, communication with family people, with family roots. This sense, Venus and Jupiter in the whole May on your second house is very good thing. Eclipses for you will happen on your third, ninth houses axis. Now, how this will impact you, I cannot be absolutely sure, because depends whether this is your midheaven, lower meridian, whether you have there luminaries or planets. But in any case, this could be a great portal for enlightenment, knowledge, communication, especially from spiritual perspective. Now, especially the first 2 weeks of May, be a bit cautious on when you travel, because this is, and also how you communicate with your partner. Be a bit cautious, a bit, a patient, diplomatic even. So this is the small thing. And now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant. 1 second. Pisces, or moon in Pisces, or if we're looking from the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aries. So lucky for you, like I will repeat, 18th of April, Jupiter, your ascendant ruler, comes on your ascendant to stay there 1 year. Venus in May will be there too, exalted. May should be a beautiful month for you, with Venus, Jupiter both there. Other than that, you see the great change with Saturn still is bringing for you on your 11th house. This is still valid, because Saturn entered Capricorn end of January 2020, and you still have less than 1 year to go from this transit. So this is the ongoing change, most probably related to your finances, plans, social circle, career. But now the same, even if this continues with the same idea, it will be now softer, and you will experience this with more hope, with more positive look and attitude, because of Jupiter, who is present on your ascendant, really to give you blessing. This is wonderful for you. It is like to have Jupiter return, or to have, I don't know what, it's just a very good blessing. Jupiter on your ascendant in Pisces 1 year, and in May, Venus also on your ascendant exalted in May. This will have very good impact on your relationship, can be very benevolent financially as well. Of course, how exactly the eclipses on the axis of your second house, 8 houses, will influence you needs to be seen in the horoscope, but most probably this could be transformational, transformative on your finances. But again, it is you have such a good placement of the benevolent plans on your ascendant that I don't see you experiencing any trouble from the eclipses. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was for the 12 eclipses. As you see, only the fact, not the 12 ascendants looking at the eclipses, but as you see, already the fact that Jupiter is in Pisces is great news. Great news, Wada.
Thank you so much, Krasi. I'm sure we all need great news amidst what's been happening. And thank you again. If anyone wants to contact Krasi, I'll put a link below because she's offering a promotion till the end of April, special reading on how the eclipses will affect you personally, according to your horoscope, and the notes as well till the end of the year. So thank you again, Krasi.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great, well, we still have half of April and May ahead. Be safe during the eclipses.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.